Seattle once moved most people by rail. In the early 1900s, electric streetcars and trolleys crisscrossed town, while interurban trains carried passengers from Tacoma to beyond Everett.
The interurbans were running every half hour in those days. And one bit coming one way or the other every few minutes.
The beautiful, sleek, modern motor cars.
But as cars got cheaper, they pushed out trains.
Your car and Washington's highways are an unbeatable combination.
The car became king, and building roads, the keys to the kingdom.
Highways are the arteries that carry the life-giving stream of vehicles.
Rail almost came back. As Seattle grew in the 60s, civic leaders formulated a plan. 49 miles of rapid transit, a subway under the city with trains running above ground between the highways north and south, even crossing Lake Washington on I-90 to Bellevue and Redmond. The federal government offered hundreds of millions to pay 80% of the project, which was called forward thrust. But opponents feared mass transit would spur more growth and said it was too expensive. The Boeing downturn that prompted this famous Seattle billboard doomed it for good.
The program will provide a 735-mile network of the finest highways.
King County voters rejected rail in 1968 and again in 1970, leaving $900 million federal dollars on the table. And those federal dollars left Seattle and came here to Atlanta, Georgia. They were used to build this, MARTA, a heavy rail rapid transit system. A system that carries nearly 250,000 riders every day. Pamela Crenshaw is one of them. After leaving her car to park and ride, she hops on MARTA's Gold Line, choosing a relaxing 40-minute train ride.
It works for me.
For a stressful hour behind the wheel.
Let's just say by the time I get to work, I'll probably be frustrated, angry, tired.
And getting home?
I probably wouldn't get home before 7:30, 8 o'clock, depending upon the traffic.
The people here in Atlanta thank the folks in Seattle for turning down the money that helped build MARTA.
Seattle's loss was Atlanta's gain.
Because it gives us a great alternative, helps our economic development, helps our quality of life, helps our environment.
On a map, MARTA is a giant plus sign, 48 miles of rail, almost exactly what Seattle envisioned.
Biggest complaint is we need to go even more places.
In fact, MARTA was planned as a 100-mile system. Selling it to voters wasn't easy here either. Out of 5 counties included in the original plan, only 2 voted to tax themselves to get MARTA. It would be 4 decades before a 3rd county would join in. Just last year.
We're about halfway there.
Atlanta attorney Robbie Ash is spearheading an ambitious plan to expand MARTA out to the suburbs.
Do you want to go from good to great?
But even at half the size envisioned, MARTA is so powerful, it literally shapes the city.
This skyline is very stretched out, and it's stretched out along the MARTA tracks. It's going exactly where the train is going. It's continuing to expand.
And draw more businesses. Like here at Dunwoody Station, where Illinois-based State Farm is building a hub for 8,000 workers.
And once the building's completed, it's actually built on top of the MARTA tracks, and employees will have the option of taking the train directly into their building.
It's not just working near MARTA. Increasingly, people are looking to live nearby, too, which has MARTA partnering with developers to turn underused parking lots into TODs. Transit-oriented developments, like this one at Lindbergh Center, where companies, condos, and coffee shops are popping up.
This is going to be the superstar of all of our TODs.
And it's all because of that transit station.
Absolutely.
Right there.
Don't have the transit station, you don't have this.
Even with the subway, Atlanta's traffic is bad. But it's estimated MARTA's trains and buses keep up to 200,000 cars off the road every day.
There's already traffic jams, there's already lots of congestion, so if you just force even more cars onto the road, it would be Armageddon traffic-wise.
Consider the 16-mile trip between downtown Atlanta and Dunwoody, about the same distance as Seattle-Linwood. A rush-hour MARTA ride takes 22 minutes. The Linwood-Seattle drive can easily take an hour. Pamela Crenshaw's so relieved to miss traffic Armageddon. She has a message for Seattle.
Thank you, Seattle, for not accepting the funding for this project.
Please make priority seats available.
And some advice.
I would just say if the opportunity presents itself again for Seattle, I would advise them to jump on board.
It's too late for Seattle to ever build the kind of subway system Atlanta has. There's too much development in the way, and the feds aren't handing out transit money like they once did.
And that's what makes Atlanta very different.
But the
than, say,
man who runs
Dallas,
MARTA
Salt Lake
says
City,
Seattle's doing the right thing by expanding light rail and upping bus services instead of mourning what it missed.
Start planning today for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and you'll get there. So no, I don't think it's ever too late to make the right choice.
In Atlanta, Linda Byron, King 5 News.